Boom! Welcome back. The Fantasy Football Expo podcast series. We are back once again. If you've seen them so far, good for you. Thank you for following us. If you haven't followed, subscribe. Why not? Why not find out what everything that's going on? We are interviewing every sponsor, every exhibitor that is coming to the Expo this year. So if you haven't seen some of these, go to the YouTube channel, check them all out. A lot of great companies coming, a lot of newbies this year. I'm really excited. We have a heavy rookie class, but one person is not a rookie. That's the man here, Seth Woolcock from In Between Media. But most importantly, he is the man behind Draft Night Out. And if you haven't been to the Expo and you're coming this year, please check into Draft Night Out. You get to draft a bunch. There's 150 people. They got 12 leagues, 12 people each. Pretty inexpensive to get in, but there's all kinds of fun prizes, raffles, drinks, food, all kinds of great stuff. So Seth, welcome. So excited to talk to you about Draft Night Out this year. Now this is your kind of first full year in charge. But welcome aboard. Good to see you again. Good to talk to you again. How's everything going?
Bob, pleasure to be on with you. I was just on with someone earlier. We were talking about the Expo, and they're like, yeah, we're only about 2 months away. And I said, oh my gosh, I
know.
It goes so quickly. And
yeah, trust me, my head's spinning.
We get in this point in the fantasy football and the NFL calendar where there's not a lot happening. So we're kind of taking our foot off the gas a little bit. But by the time August gets here, man, I'm going to be full send on the Expo, full send on Draft Night Out and getting ready for the fantasy football season. So excited to be here with you tonight to kind of preview it all, my friend.
Love it. I love it. So Seth, before we get into, In Between Media, Draft Night Out, all the stuff that you have created, and it's some amazing stuff for sure. Let's talk about your beginnings. So, when did it start? When did you start at least understanding, knowing, playing, whatever you want to call it, about fantasy football? How old were you? What year was it? Who got you? Who kind of gave you that nudge? Or how did you even find out about it? How did you get involved in fantasy football in the first place?
Yeah, so it was about 2011. I was probably only about 11 or 12 years old. It was my older brother. Yeah, he was.
Oh, there you go. Way to go, older brother. Right?
Yeah, shout out Austin. He was 2 years older than me. Him and his friends had been playing, and he said, "Hey, I think you would really like this because ever since I'd been young, I'd been a Steelers fan, a NASCAR fan, just very entrenched in sports." And he said, "This is a way you can kind of have your own little team." And I said, "Okay." And I remember going out there and drafting Brett Favre and Donovan McNabb the first 2 years, and but yeah, so very thankful for my brother. And since then, it's kind of just been a journey. Got a group of friends together in middle school. We later then in college combined my league with my brother's league, and we've had a really great league, like super competitive going on about 7 or 8 years now. And just so blessed for fantasy football to not only everything it's given me in my career, but just keeping that group of friends together. And we're going to be getting together this weekend. I'm going home for alumni weekend, and we're all doing a little golf scramble. And it's like our fantasy football group chat is what we text in. You know what I mean? That's what brings us together. That's what keeps us all together. So super thankful for the game and super thankful for my older brother way back when for introducing me.
Love it. Yeah. Well, as you talked about it, this will be my 40th year for my first league ever started in 1985. So yeah, when I talk about people, and they're like, I am not even that old. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it's fine. Yeah, I get it. But no, it's great. And, a lot of my friends are still in this league. Some have dropped out. I mean, they're still around, but, and I get that. But yeah, like you said, it just keeps everybody engaged and exciting. Like my youngest daughter's now in the league with me, and my buddy's daughter's in the league with them. So it's like we've added like our own kids and, kind of as a natural progression. So nothing better than, like you said, some family and friends getting together, getting involved in the draft. So Seth, how did that lead into In Between Media? Talk about your transition from playing to now being a part of sharing the knowledge. And what I love about In Between Media is that your stories, while they certainly have some fantasy football content, you always have a backstory. I remember, like I said, one of your stories out of your site was somebody who wrote about their experience at the Expo and how it meant to them mentally and how, it was really helped them kind of break through from an anxiety standpoint. So I just love that about your site. It's more than just fantasy football. It's got that extra personal touch. Talk about how you got to that point.
I appreciate it, Bob. And, it was very early on when I was playing fantasy sports that whether I'd lose a championship or, make some mistake along the way, that I would learn a lesson. And
Right.
I think sometimes the lessons we can learn in fantasy football and fantasy sports in general can also apply to life and vice versa. And that was
Right.
kind of really the concept behind In Between Media, is that, yes, we want to help people win championships. We want to help them win money while sports betting as well. But more than anything, we want them to have fun while doing it.
Mhm.
We want them to enjoy it and also get the most out of life while doing it. Like, if you're not having fun playing these games, if it's not a bonus and an add to your life, then why are you playing? So that's really kind of where the concept from IBT came. I was a journalism and communications major from Indiana University of Pennsylvania, IUP. And there I was able to work in the student newspaper and watched that transition from the old school print publication to an all digital media company. And that's when I kind of got involved in podcasting and very early into the social media game as well. So this is like 2018. A lot's certainly changed since then, but really gave me a good footing into everything, and started creating my own content. Then Start, Sit, and Seth was my column, very much inspired off of Matthew Barry's Love Hate. And
Mhm.
that book was a lifesaver for me. I was going through a lot of tough things and in my late teens, early 20s,
Mhm.
just with some family BS. And that book really kept me centered. I love reading Matthew, and he really inspired In Between Media. So shout out to TMR and everything he's done for this industry. But that's really kind of where it started, man. And super blessed to kind of have found it all.
That's awesome. No, I love that story. And like you said, it's just so great to be able to just kind of let people know that, have fun. Don't take it
Yeah.
too seriously,
Yes.
because
Yes.
certainly we all know we've been there.
Oh yeah.
I remember my meltdown on New Year's Eve when I lost all four of my championships in one
Oh
day.
no.
Yeah, that was not it. You don't want to go back and read those posts. But yeah, I get it. So good for you for putting that out there and kind of reminding people that hey, we're here to compete, but we're also here to have fun. Try not to take it too
Sure.
seriously anyway, but that's cool stuff. So you made the transition to In Between Media, and now let's go to the fun part that's coming up to the Expo, Draft Night Out. It was started by another individual, a few years before you, but you kind of took it over last year. There was but whatever the case may be, doesn't matter. But you took it over. You did an amazing job for taking over the last minute. Still pulled off a great time. Tons of pictures. If anybody saw the email that just went out, by the time this is posted, it'll be within the last week. But with some great pictures, all kinds of fun. Everybody raves about it. Talk about that transition to what is now called Draft Night Out, and then we'll kind of talk about how that applies to those coming to the Expo.
Yeah, absolutely. So Draft Night Out, I got involved with them the first year I came to the Expo. They were actually sold out, but I heard it was a great event, so I paid to go to the event. They said, "Hey, we're sold out, but if you want to come and just kind of hang out and experience it, you can." And so I was like, "Yeah, honestly, it was a really great networking opportunity for me, as the Expo is as a whole. I mean,
Right.
I have met so many great people that have later led to a possible career opportunity for myself, or also added members to my team after meeting them at the Expo. So
Cool.
it's always a great networking opportunity. But met that gang, and they did a great job with it. And really, like, my whole thing about it is I love people coming together and doing what we love to do, Bob. That's
Mhm.
draft, that's play
Yeah.
fantasy football, it's
Right.
have fun, cut loose for a little bit. And that's really what Draft Night Out is really all about. Is yes, again, we want to come, we want to have fantasy football, we have prizes for those who win the leagues and the overall grand prize. But at the same time, like, it's all about the good vibes and people just like smiling and like,
Right.
especially coming out of COVID, man. Like, I know we kind of all forget, I like
Yeah.
to put
You
that as,
forget the way to, like, yeah, exactly. Like, oh yeah, let's give this a shot. 500 people showed up.
yeah. And like it, but it was just, people came together, and seeing that and seeing how
Mhm.
powerful that was, I was like, In Between Media, like that's what we're about. That's all we're
Right.
about: good vibes and bringing people together, and building a family and a community. So that's what really Draft Night Out is about. And just hearing kind of the success stories of people meeting new friends that they would go on
Mhm.
to, be in other leagues with or work together in. Like that's kind of the fun stuff about draft night out, and just seeing everyone together. So happy. Like you see very few people who are upset, and everyone's smiling and just enjoying a couple tequilas, a couple beers, a couple whiskeys, whatever the
Right,
fix
right,
is.
right. So, just for those who are maybe watching for the first time, maybe coming to the expo for
Mhm.
the first time, explain draft night out,
Yeah.
explain where they need to go to register. You said
Yep.
it's a little more than half full. So, people, you have time. So, don't
Yeah.
panic. I know it's less
Yeah.
than 2 months, but everybody's a procrastinator. So, you don't want to wait too long, but don't worry if you're not signed up yet. Tell them, where to go to sign up. Tell them
Sure.
what they're going to get for what they're paying for, what you're going to do, all the great prizes, all the fun stuff that's involved in that 4-hour extravaganza.
Yeah. So to check out more information on to get your guys' tickets today, you can go to inbetweenmedia.com/draft-night.out tickets 2024. And that's going to get you over there, or just go to our website. It's on our shop page. And
It's on the Expo website too, folks.
yeah,
Yeah.
So you can backlink, you can Google it. Hopefully I'm good enough with search engine optimization at this point. They can
I would
find
hope
it.
I'd hope you're the only draft night out on there.
I would hope so. But yeah, so we're at the Brew Kettle in Canton. This is one of the sickest venues I've ever
It's so
seen.
cool.
2 floors, you got 2 different bars happening. There's a bunch of golf bays that are there as well, and like the outdoor patio overlooking the Hall of
The
Fame
football
stadium.
stadium and Hall of Fame. Yeah, right.
Yes, such a cool venue. We go from 12 to 4. There's also food. There'll be drinks available. We're trying to get some special IBT themed items on there as well this year. But these leagues are on Sleeper. They're 12 teams. They're your traditional points per reception formats. Pretty traditional. We want really everyone to be able to come, no matter what your skill level is. We do have some IDP leagues. We also do have some mobile leagues for those who kind of just want to walk around the venue and chat with people. But really, they come together. We have all these leagues. They compete throughout the season as well. So, you're doing waivers, you're making trades, things like that. And also we have a grand prize for the overall winner. Week 18, highest score of those league winners wins the grand prize. So that's really what draft night out is in a sense. And hopefully people come out and enjoy it. And we also have our charity leagues as well, Bob, which I'd like to mention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
We have,
please. Yeah, forgot about those.
yeah, we have Jason Watson and George Reed. These are 2 fantasy football veterans. And all the proceeds, they have 2 leagues. We already sold one out, the Joe Thomas League, which would you be surprised that the charity league was the fastest one sold out, Bob? Because I certainly
I gotta say, because we're all about charities in this world. Yeah.
Yeah, so all the proceeds for those go to Toys for Tots with Jason and George's organization, and all the prizes for that come out of their pockets. They send them to the league winner, so very thankful for them. But yeah, it's just a good time, man, and I hope everyone sees it as just an opportunity to kick back, relax, and not think for 4 hours and just enjoy the time.
Yeah. And it costs something, right? It's not
Sure,
free, just so
sure,
people know. It
sure,
does
yeah.
cost something. But like you said, there's lots of great prizes to win. And do you guys still have the raffles where you give away raffle off
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Autographed jerseys and helmets and all kinds of cool stuff like that as part of it? And that's
Oh,
no
yeah.
extra charge, right?
Yeah, no, that's correct. So we do have a ton of different giveaways that just by subscribing to our channel, subscribing to some of our sponsors' channels, you guys can get involved with as
Cool.
well.
Right.
And then we have the theme divisions.
Right.
So if you're a Steelers fan, you get in the Franco Harris division. You're probably going to be with a bunch of other Steelers fans and knuckleheads from Western PA like myself. And then, but yeah, tickets, they range from $45 to $40 depending on what type of draft you want to do. But yeah.
Right. Yeah, good stuff. But lots of great prizes to win. And like you said, just a good time overall. Lots of fun. It happens on the Saturday afternoon. The only thing else going on is, of course, the Kings Classic. Now we are doing the sports betting Saturday during that time frame, but I feel like sports betting and DNO are 2 separate things. If you're either into one or you're into the other. And so that's why we figured out it would work out okay. We wouldn't have too much conflict. So definitely everybody go to that. Check it out. Whether you go to the Expo site, there's a draft night out link there you can go to. Or as Seth said, just go on to Google and type in draft night out 2024. Might want to put Canton, Ohio just to be safe, but I'm pretty sure that's that's going to bring it up for you. So Seth, you're coming back. Now you've been to this. You've been to the Expo before.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about your experience as both a fan, if you're a fan or if you're an exhibitor, there. How did it make you feel? How would you talk about your first year going when you're like, you didn't hardly know anybody other than off Twitter, like most of us. Talk about that experience for you and what new folks coming to the Expo may experience again this year.
You're going to meet some of the most down to earth, real human beings who like check your ego at the door when you come into Canton. You're stepping in a time machine and everyone's just human beings at the end of the day. And from the first minute I showed up the Expo to have people I had really looked up in the industry who knew me just by this face somehow and said, "Hey, Seth, great to meet you. I've been a fan of your work." Like that really meant something. And, I always feel a deep appreciation for the fantasy football community every single year, Bob. There have been times when I've gone to bed and I'm just like, how lucky am I to live this stupid life that I can make a living playing a game and giving advice about a game that I played as a kid and am really passionate about still to this day. And that's how I always feel, man. And it's great to not only meet like people that you've been friends with on the internet and you finally get to interact in real life. That's always, the cool situation. But I don't remember if it was the first or second year I was there, but I met a new friend and we were hanging out, buying drinks for each other all night and ended up going to karaoke on Sunday night. And the guy had some pipes, Bob. The guy had some pipes. Carlos, he was great and was kind of someone I didn't even know, but we just ended up being, great friends. And I think that's the other powerful thing about the Expos. You meet great people as well. And like, you realize, hey, like, yes, we're all friends and we're all having fun playing this game, but even like a lot of like outside of the draft night out, there's a lot of non-football talk that's just fun to bullshit,
Oh yeah, right. Because everybody's at a different stage of life. Some of you, are just getting married, or just having their first kids, or So I think it goes, it goes beyond that. I always said now it's basically a family reunion with fantasy football breaking out. Because we're all family, and and even though we're all competing per se. For people to read our stuff and enjoy our content, we're also here to help each other, and whether it's, me helping these new folks, new people coming into the Expo for the first time so they can get the, the experience or not the experience, the, their brand awareness out to folks because they're trying to make an impact. Because guess what? I was there years ago and people like Bob Harris and Howard Bender and Jeff Manns and some of those guys all were there for me to say, hey, Bob, here, how about you come on Sirius XM and we'll interview you about your consistency guide. So, it's just a continuous paying forward, and that's what I love about this industry is that, the new people that will come in this year will invite people to come next year to do the same thing. And that's what I love about this industry, this community. And Seth, you're certainly a big part of it by what you're doing with In Between Media and most importantly, Draft Night Out at the Expo. So folks, make sure you check all that out. Any new surprises? Are we going to get any new surprises in DNO? Or are we just going to wait like for the ball to drop when you walk in like, oh my gosh, it's Kurt Warner. No, I don't. I'm kidding.
So there may or may not be a shot wheel in the works right now. We're going to try to have a different.
That'll rev things up. That's
have a shot wheel. We're going to have some live reads going off, some sponsored shots. Cool. But spin it at your own risk. We don't know what you're going to get. There might be some terrible tasting shots on there.
No Uzo. Just keep the Uzo out of my face. I don't want that.
Yeah, so that's really the big additions. We also have our IDP draft as well. That's
super cool. The IDP folks are very happy about that.
Teamed up with the IDP Plus guys over there and ladies. Sure. They're going to be running that. We have our standing room only drafts, but the shot wheel is something I'm looking forward to. And I'll tell you what, Bob, as of now, I'm planning on not spinning it. That was on the checklist this year. I told Katie,
my liver. I have to usually train my liver before that weekend comes. Not that that's an over exaggeration, but it could be rough. And then I keep remembering it's like my event. I have to run it. I can't.
Yes.
So but it's all fun. It's such a great time. Love hanging out with everybody. Love everybody being there. So Seth, lastly for you, just anything else you want to tell folks about before we take it out of here? Thank you again for being a part of this. Thank you again for putting together Draft Night Out. I'm looking forward to another successful year for you. Heck, we might get to a point where we're just going to have a bigger venue. I don't know. But that may be too much. Maybe Drew Kettle's just that perfect size, right? Because it'd be then more work for you. So maybe we'll just kind of keep it there. But anyway, anything else you want to add?
Shout out to the Brew Kettle. We appreciate them hosting us degenerates as always. And Bob, just shout out to you. And if you guys have not checked out the Fantasy Football Expo, I cannot give it a higher enough recommendation. I mean, this place, I don't want to say it's a life-changing event, but it is a life-changing event.
I've had people tell me that. I literally have people said it was the greatest weekend of their life. And I go, do not tell your wife or children this ever. But I've had people tell me that. Maybe they were a little drunk, but the feelings truly come out then. But
it's really a great event, and I'm super excited to get back there this weekend or this summer, man. And so thank you, Bob, for the platform and everything you do, not just for myself and IBT, but the entire fantasy football community. Because you have a gift, my friend, that you're able to bring thousands of people together every single year in the perfect venue. So so grateful for it, man. I hope everyone checks it out and has a great time this summer, man.
All right. Well, once again, Seth Woolcock from Draft Night Out and In Between Media. Of course, I'm Bob Lung with the Fantasy Football Expo. When I hit this button, if you've seen this before, you know how this works. There'll be all kinds of things of what to follow for the Expo, how to get your tickets. So, Seth, thank you again. Everybody take care. God bless.